Buddy, my name is Roy Nemmer of WrestleView.com and welcome. And we are live and we are going to talk about the Royal Rumble, the WWE 2023 Royal Rumble. We're going to run through the card, give our predictions. Will we have any surprise entrants? Who's going to win? Who's going to walk out as champion? And we're going to take your predictions, your questions, your answers. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you are live, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button. If you're watching us on replay on YouTube, thank you very much. Leave your comments down below. Leave your predictions down below. And same thing, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notifications button. My name is Roy Nemmer. Let's get to it. And actually, right before we get to it, a little bit of a special announcement coming up at the end of this show regarding the WrestleMania.com post-show, the Royal Rumble match, the Royal Rumble event. We're going to have a live post-show following that. So a special announcement to come later on the show. It's something you do not want to miss. I see already some people in the chat as well. I see Daniel. Hey, there you go. Time is money, Daniel. That's why. Hey, we're not making you wait, Daniel. We are not making you wait, not at all. So let's get to it. So the opening, we have a couple of matches to get to. Let's start off with the WWE Raw Women's Title match, and that one is between Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. And this one is kind of it's a weird one for me. It's a weird one for me. And for those of you guys in the chat, let me know who you guys think wins this one. This is an odd one because the build up for this, they've put in the effort, they've really pushed hard to get people interested in this, but for whatever reason, the spotlight tends to be on Alexa Bliss and more specifically Uncle Howdy and that shadow behind her that is Bray Wyatt. Even though Bray hasn't he hasn't been on screen with Alexa for well over a year now, it's always been about this for whatever reason, and Bianca has sort of taken a backseat in this feud, and you don't want that to happen, especially to your champion, right? Especially to your champion. And I don't know about this one. I don't know. I'll take a look at some of your predictions here. And Daniel says, Bliss wins with interference from Uncle Howdy. I could definitely see that happening. I can absolutely see that happening. King of Hueco Mundo writes, Alexa's going to win. And Gil's fan, hello Gil's fan, he writes, I think Bianca is going to WrestleMania as champion. So we get a bit of a split decision here because I'm torn. I know Gil's fan says Bianca walks in as champion at WrestleMania. I could see how, and I could definitely see that happening. Yet at the same time, Bianca's run lately for the past month, ever since she's gotten into this feud with Alexa Bliss, has just not been that interesting. And a part of me is inclined to go with Daniel and to go with King of Hueco Mundo, just because I think maybe they want to freshen things up with that title heading into WrestleMania. With that said, I don't see Alexa walking into WrestleMania as champion. I really don't. And I'm thinking about this match as well, and I want everybody in the chat and everyone in the comments watching us later, let me know, where do you see this match fitting on the show? Because I don't see this match starting off the Royal Rumble. I think the women's Rumble match is what kicks it off. And I kind of see this one in the middle of the show, but it's going to be so squashed between all the other matches that I can't see a big title change. Not for this one. Not for this one. And Daniel says, but my heart wants Belair versus Ripley at Mania. And we're going to get to Rhea Ripley, and we're going to get to the women's Royal Rumble match in a little bit. But guys, let me know, boys and girls, guys, let me know, if you all agree with me. I don't see a new title. I don't see a new champion for the simple reason that I think there's going to be so much going on in this show when you consider two big Rumble matches, the Universal title match and the the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which we are going to talk about in just a little bit. It's almost as if every single match on this card has something writing on it, right? Bray Wyatt, LA Knight, we're going to talk about that one, but even though there's no title on the line, it's just the stipulation, right? What's a Mountain Dew pitch black match? But anyways, we're going to get to that. So I kind of feel like this match could get lost in the shuffle, if that makes sense. But let me know, guys. Let me know. My final prediction, I'm going to go with, I'm going to have to go with Bianca Belair. I agree with Gil's fan. I think Bianca walks into WrestleMania as the Raw Women's Champion. And when I get to my Women's Rumble match prediction, you'll see if I think she walks out at WrestleMania as the champion. Let me know. All right. Daniel says Bray versus LA Knight should open to get it out of the way. Well, you know what? This is a great segue because up next, Daniel, we got the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. Does anyone have any idea what this match is? Was there some sort of hint? Pitch Black? Is it just going to be like a single spotlight down on the ring? And then what? People using their cell phones, turning up the light on their cell phones. How is that going to work? Right? Obviously, there's going to be unfortunately, some shenanigans. I think we're going to get some of Bray Wyatt's puppets, that pig, the rabbit, showing up, that little lizard. I can't remember their names right now. So I'm guessing we get something of some sort of interference. And, Daniel says maybe this one should open the show. I wouldn't disagree with this, but at the same time, you want a title or you want a big match to kick off this show. And I think it's got to be the Women's Rumble match. You've got to space those two Rumble matches apart as much as possible. And I think we're going to get the women's that kicks off the show, and we're going to get the men's that kind of ends the show. Although, talking about this with Mike, if you guys missed it, it's on YouTube. It's in the archives. When we did the last Raw post show, Mike was of the idea that, maybe that Universal title match should end the show and not the Men's Rumble. I think the Men's Rumble closes the show. We'll see, but I definitely think the Women's Rumble opens the show and not this one. Now, as for the stipulation, Gil's fan writes, perhaps whoever drinks the Mountain Dew first is the winner. Maybe. Look, it's kind of working. You hear about Mountain Dew all week. I suddenly want the Mountain Dew, and I can't remember the last time I drank Mountain Dew. So it's good marketing, right? It's very, very good marketing on their end. It just kind of came from nowhere in a sense, It's not like they have this massive sponsorship deal with Mountain Dew that's been going on for a while. It's just suddenly, hey, well, we have a Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, and you're thinking to yourself, what is this? Daniel says this match will take place in a Mountain Dew can. I could certainly see some sort of entrance with a Mountain Dew. I think there's going to have to be some sort of Mountain Dew advertisement throughout the match, a sort of graphic, something, because it's going to have to happen at this point. There's no way. And if I bring up the graphic, there's not much here. Pitch Black, Mountain Dew, that's about it. That's about it for that. Let me know who you guys think wins this one as I take a sip of this coffee. Let me know who you guys predict to win this Pitch Black Mountain Dew match. We've gotten a couple of ideas as to what it is. Let me know who you think wins it. All right, for me, I'll give my prediction. I think LA Knight wins this. I truly think LA Knight wins this one. I think they've backed themselves in a situation where LA Knight cannot afford to lose. Bray Wyatt cannot afford to lose. However, it's so much easier to cost or to have some sort of interference in someone to cost Bray Wyatt this match as opposed to LA Knight, right? Because the deck is already stacked against LA Knight. It's a pitch black match, whatever that means. It's Bray Wyatt's rules. So I think we get some sort of interference from maybe from Uncle Howdy. Daniel writes Husky Harris. So he thinks Bray Wyatt gets the win. Gil's fan writes, hopefully nobody gets injured like the last sponsored match I remember, which was Miz versus Priest. Yes, and that was, I think, the last pay-per-view in the Thunderdome, wasn't it? Or one of the last pay-per-views in the Thunderdome. And that was a train wreck of a match. And he says, I know I'll be wrong, but I'm picking LA Knight to win because I'm Uncle Howdy. There you are. Great minds think alike, Gil's fan. I certainly think so as well. I think Uncle Howdy, there's some sort of interference. He turns on Bray Wyatt, or if it's not the same person, whatever happens, happens. But I think LA Knight gets this win, and I would keep LA Knight as far away as from Bray Wyatt as possible after this. Seth Rollins gave an interview several months ago, I think summertime, and he said his feud, and he was talking about his feud with Bray Wyatt, and he flat out said, no one feuds with Bray Wyatt and comes out of it essentially looking good. And it's true. It really is true. And LA Knight has done so well, his promos, whatever he's done, everything he's been trying to do regarding this feud. And I think get him this win, get him far away from Bray Wyatt, let him do something else, and figure out this Bray Wyatt character. It's Daniel. So Daniel kind of disagrees. Daniel says Bray's gonna bury another star. It's certainly a possibility, Daniel. It wouldn't surprise me if Bray Wyatt were to win this match. I just hope he doesn't. I'm intrigued. I won't lie. I was intrigued by this Bray Wyatt character, the persona, the entrance. He knows how to say a lot of things. He knows how to say a lot of words without necessarily saying anything. And sometimes it's very easy to kind of get lost in what he says. We'll see. I mean, Bray Wyatt hasn't really had that many matches since coming back. I know he wrestled at a house show or a live event. At least once there was footage of that, flying around on the internet. But is he ring rust? Is he ring rusty? Is he rusty in the ring? Is there some of that? LA Knight hasn't been wrestling too much either, right? He had like a squash match last week on Raw, not this week, but the one before. And I don't know. Daniel writes it took Randy Orton years to get past Wyatt. Yeah, it did. It really did. That whole, I can't remember what that was, that Wyatt house. It was like the house was burning or Orton ended up putting it on fire. That was just ridiculous. And that was already a couple of years ago. And like you said, to your credit, Daniel, it took Orton a while to get over that. And LA Knight, they finally got him off that Max Dupree stuff, got him away from Maximum Male Models, really repackaged him, going backwards to his NXT days, but kind of repackaged him. A great talker, great on the mic, a pretty good wrestler from what I've been able to tell from the matches that I've watched, going back on the network, watching some of his stuff. So I got to go with LA Knight. I think Uncle Howdy kind of costs Bray Wyatt that match, but we'll see about that. We'll see about this one. So match number 2, I got LA Knight defeating Bray Wyatt. Third match, and this is a massive one, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, up against Kevin Owens. And I want everyone to tell me, where do you guys see this match ranking on the card? Does it kick off the show or does it end the show? Is it somewhere in the middle? I think it's semi-main event. I think it's right before the main event. I think Mike Tedesco of WrestleView.com, best Raw recapper, period, bar none, also hosts the post-Raw show along with his lovely wife, Victoria. And, he thinks that this match closes the show. Now, I think it's semi-main. Daniel says it closes the show. So, Daniel, you agree with Mike that it does end the show. Everybody else, if you guys are watching us on YouTube live, let me know. If you're watching us on replay, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let us know in the comments. Does this end the show? King of Hueco Mundo. Very true. Thank you. Daniel, I'm not. Hey, Mike, I can't name another great Raw recapper like Mike. I truly can't. I truly cannot. Gills fan. Roman wins, but no idea how this will go. Sami needs to cost Roman by accident somehow. So this is the intriguing part. This is the very, very interesting part that I was just gonna get to. It's Sami Zayn. He's obviously the X factor in all of this, right? I think we do get a near fall. Kevin Owens coming close. Roman kicks out. Something happens with the Usos, the Bloodline. I mentioned earlier that the deck is stacked against LA Knight. in regards to that weird Mountain Dew pitch black match. The deck is absolutely stacked against Kevin Owens. Not only is it Roman Reigns, but you got the Usos, you got Paul Heyman, you got Solo Sikoa. I don't know if they bring someone else in from that family, and then you also have Sami Zayn. And this is going to be a very, very interesting match. A lot of drama outside of this match, and inside the ring as well, so in and out of the ring. Gil's fan says, I still think the Rumble is the main event. I believe so. I certainly believe so. Daniel, Sami should be more involved in the tag team title, save Roman for Cody. So Daniel, you don't think Sami gets involved? You don't think something happens with him? He doesn't cost Roman the match, or he costs Roman the match? Let me know. And King of Hueco Sami has become one of the biggest talents in WWE. He's the only one he's the only one that hasn't gotten the belt yet. That's very true, right? No belt on him. Well, along with Solo Sikoa. And then it would be good to see the bloodline split like the NWO, red and black. That would be insane. Full disclosure, I was never a fan of the red and black NWO. I love the Wolfpack theme song. I think it's great. I was never a fan of the red and black NWO, and then ultimately it just became too many people in the NWO. But I haven't yet decided. So Daniel could be a DQ finish. This would be a horrible way, though. I'm trying to think of something that would not be a DQ finish. I think Zayn. I don't even know. Like, a part of me thinks Zayn costs Roman the match, but then another part of me says it's still a little bit too early to pull that trigger. Now, if Zayn does cost Roman the match, we're getting a new champion, right? We're getting a new champion. I don't see Kevin Owens winning this title at the Rumble. That's the thing. And I don't see Roman dropping any one of the belts, whether they split the belts, whether they keep it as one. I don't see Roman losing any of the belts before WrestleMania. Now, at WrestleMania, that's an entirely different story. However, before that, I think it's difficult. I don't know if we get a new champ. King of Hueco Mundo, no disqualification on that one. Roman had a DQ finish at the last Rumble. I mean, your memory is better than mine, Gil's fan. He's only had DQ wins. Yeah, this is a tough one to call. This is a very, very tough one to call. Potentially the main event, right? Potentially the main event. I don't know. I think no matter what happens, in my opinion, Roman wins. Roman retains the belt. No matter what happens. I don't see Owens kind of getting the win here. Daniel, so then how does Sami get involved? You only have to get Sami involved if you plan to take one of the belts off Roman. Well, maybe not. What happens if, and I'm jumping a little bit too early, but what if Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble, right? What if he's in the Final Four? What if when Roman said on Raw, you're going to prove your loyalty at the Rumble? What if that was more specifically about the Rumble match? What if Zayn makes the Final Four and Roman tells him, okay, jump over the top rope, lose something, right? But we don't know. King of Hueco there has to be blood in the match because of Roman's ear and Kevin's face injury. I don't know if we'll get some blood on this. I don't know if we'll get someone cutting themselves, getting some blade here, but I don't think the match needs it unless they plan on going a good 45 minutes and it's just an absolute brawl of a match. Now, obviously, you're talking about the War Games match, right, where Owens cut Roman up. They haven't played on that yet. They haven't mentioned it, and that's why I don't think we will see blood. But it's certainly a possibility. Daniel says this is not AEW. This is not a Jon Moxley match specifically. Not a Jon Moxley match. So final predictions, everybody. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. If you guys are watching us in the chat, let me know who wins. Is it Roman? Is it Kevin Owens? Do we get a new champion? Is it a disqualification? Let me know as I just have a little sip of this. All right, so King of Hueco writes, but it has to happen. It's the only thing to make it just, make it bang, make it on fire to get it going there. Roman for the win. Daniel says Roman. I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns as well. I think Roman Reigns gets the win here, and I think he retains his world title, his universal, undisputed universal title. I think Roman keeps the belt or both belts. However, yes, I do think there's something involving Sami Zayn. Maybe he tries to cost Roman the match, but he accidentally costs Kevin Owens the match. Or maybe he does get involved, yes, and he just costs Kevin Owens the match. And Owens gets involved in the Rumble match and he throws Zayn. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. And Gil's fan as well. So we're making it 4 out of 4 for everybody here so far. Roman keeps the titles, says Gil's fan. And it's unanimous. It is absolutely unanimous. Daniel, but Sami wins the Elimination Chamber, though. No one is bringing that up. So I don't want to talk about the Chamber because I saw a graphic, I saw a picture a couple of days ago, and I think it was posted in the WrestleView media page on Facebook regarding the Elimination Chamber. It was a picture. I'm not going to say what it is. This is spoiler free, so I'm not even going to mention it. But there was a potential spoiler there, and I'm like, well, maybe. So I'm not going to talk about that. King of Hueco, DQ, Sami turns on Kevin again to pledge his allegiance or to pledge his alliance to Roman. That's a possibility. That's absolutely a possibility. Yeah, I could see that happening too. Andrew, welcome to Andrew Elder. Welcome to the show, Andrew. And he thinks Roman. So 5 out of 5, Roman Reigns wins at the Royal Rumble, gets the win against Kevin Owens. Daniel, it is in Montreal. Yes, the Elimination Chamber is in Montreal, as is the SmackDown the day before. So Montreal is getting Friday's SmackDown and Saturday's Elimination Chamber. And there's also the Undertaker's, what is it, like a stand-up thing going on that week as well. King of Hueco, Vince wants Goldberg versus Roman. I think we had that enough times for that one. Daniel O. Canada and Andrew says, yes, it is home of the screw job. 2 screw jobs there, and I was at one of them in, I think it was 2000. I can't remember what was it, Battleground, where Undertaker got the win, and then they came out and said no, so Taker got screwed out of the belt there. But yes, it is home of the screw job. Guild fan, Goldberg Roman was supposed to happen in WrestleMania 36, and it would have sucked then. It would have sucked then. It'll suck now. Hopefully we don't get it, but so far, we're all going for Roman Reigns, unanimous there. So just unanimous for that one. All right, next up, and this is, talk about underwhelming. This is as underwhelming can get so far this year when it comes to this match. I know in previous years, you thought Becky Lynch, you thought Charlotte Flair, you thought, I don't know, maybe a Ronda Rousey, Asuka. We've had like 6 or 7 names mentioned so far for the Women's Royal Rumble match. And I have the names here. So 7 out of 30, 7 entrants in the Women's Royal Rumble match have been announced. Are you guys ready for this? We have Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Selena Vega, and Emma. 7 out of 30. So we're talking about 23 names. We are bound to get some surprises. I mentioned this on the Raw post show. I said maybe the reason why Trish and Lita were not on the Raw 30 was because they want to keep them just as a big surprise for the Rumble match. I know we've only had the Rumble match for a couple of years now. I think 5 or 6 years of the Rumble, maybe 7. Although I think it's closer to 5 and 6. This is the one that I'm kind of looking forward to the least, just because the build-up for it essentially has been Liv Morgan saying she's entering as number 1. And if that's your biggest hype and your only hype for the Women's Rumble match, that's a problem. That's a big issue. 7 out of 30. Let me know, everybody in the chat, who you think is going to win, and any surprises. And the first person to mention Sasha Banks is getting kicked out. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But any surprises and who wins? Daniel says Rhea Ripley, 100%. No way. I can't see anyone else. King of Hueco. It's between Bailey and Rhea Ripley. Daniel, yeah, unfortunately, my thoughts exactly. Unfortunately, in regards to this one, Andrew, I wonder if we get any NXT girls because it sounds like the legends are not coming. The only legends that are not coming are the Bella Twins, and don't even get me started on them. I'm far from being their biggest fan. I'm just glad they weren't on the Raw 30. Do we think there were barely any women legends on Raw because they're saving them for the Rumble? I don't know. It's a good theory. I thought about it for Lita and Trish, maybe, but I think they just were maybe building up towards other stuff on Raw 30. There should have been more women on the show. I'm not saying no. I just don't know if they decided to essentially completely scrap the women because of that, because of the Rumble. You do have some NXT girls and a few surprises. Does Mandy Rose come back? Is that a surprise, right? Like a month or so after getting fired? It's a possibility. King of Hueco Mundo, WWE better not bring old school talents just to get rid of them. Yeah, but you know that's going to happen. You know they're going to bring them in, and you know they're there for a minute or two or a couple of seconds, and then they're thrown over the top rope. I think that's absolutely what's going to happen. Daniel, oh God, Liv Morgan as number one. They'll be shoving the underdog gimmick all night until she gets eliminated. Yep, could not have said it better myself. Brett Farmer, welcome, Brett. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining. So Brett says, we have not heard anything because they are probably still trying to find 30 women for the match. I agree. I don't think the current roster they have, including NXT girls, they're going to be hard-pressed to find 30 women. They have to go for some legends. My guess, a surprise? Oof. I mean, I can't even think of any right now. Beth Phoenix? Is Beth Phoenix a surprise? Does that count? Let me know your predictions as well. So we've had a couple of Rhea so far. Rhea wins, says Gills fan. Green might return as well. That's another one. Andrew, the debut of Evil Asuka, Kana, Rhea wins, and Naomi. So Naomi is one that we haven't really spoken about, right? I mean, I jokingly mentioned, mentioned in terms of Sasha Banks, but Naomi could certainly be close to a comeback. Why not? Why not, right? Maybe Naomi comes back. Andrew mentioned Asuka. Maybe we do get that new character from Asuka. You know, kind of a mini repackage, so to speak. Gil's fan, perhaps this will be Stephanie's big return. No, that's a good one. Daniel, my first surprise for the Rumble is Naomi. All right, so I kind of forgot about Naomi until you guys mentioned her. I'll go with her. I think Naomi's a surprise. I think Beth Phoenix is a surprise. That's 2. I'm going to go with Trish and Lita. That's 4. Do they bring in Mickie James as well? I mean, she was brought in at the last Rumble last year with the Impact Women's title. Does she come back? That's another surprise. Is there anyone else? I can't think of any. I cannot think of any. As for my prediction, and I'm going to bring this up on screen. So my prediction, the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, I think it's got to be this person right here. I think it has to be Rhea Ripley. It cannot be anyone else. I know they're pushing that underdog gimmick for Liv Morgan. I can't see her winning. Not after she just kind of had the belt recently, or at least in the past year. It's got to be Rhea. My second pick is Raquel Rodriguez. Maybe Raquel. Andrew says Melina. That's another surprise back from last year. Brett, Bailey, Rousey, Dom's mommy. It's got to be Dom's mommy. It's got to be Dom's mommy. I think it's got to be Rhea Ripley. Bailey, for whatever reason, you know, she started off red hot in her comeback, and I think she's going to continue her feud with Becky Lynch. I think what we got on Raw was more along the lines of this is just the beginning of her feud with Becky. I think we get this going easily until the Elimination Chamber, if not WrestleMania, for this feud. So I don't think it's Bayley. I hope it's not Ronda Rousey. I truly, truly hope it's not. Just because she just kind of lost the belt, to have her win it and then go back after Charlotte, and I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that at all. Gil's fan, I would like to see Melina to redeem herself since her last elimination. Sorry, since last time her elimination was botched. It could be nice. It would be nice to see Melina back. Definitely nothing against Melina. Bring her back in, have her be there for a while. Obviously, you could tell she was emotional last year. She was enjoying herself. So it would be nice to have her back for sure, for sure. Andrew, Rhea versus Bianca at Mania, hopefully, and this is what I was kind of alluding to earlier. I think Bianca Belair gets the win versus Alexa Bliss. I think Rhea Ripley wins the Women's Royal Rumble, and I think we get Rhea versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, and I think Rhea Ripley finally gets her crowning moment, so to speak, and hopefully the Judgment Day end up winning the titles as well, the tag titles. They're doing very, very good. Daniel, I'll burn my WWE fandom if it's Ronda Rousey. And Gil's fan, Ronda can stay gone. Brett with a very good question. A very, very good question. So maybe Rhea Ripley's a surprise in the men's match. That would be fun. They haven't done that since, I think, China, right? China's the one and only to have female, or there was someone else. I think there was someone else actually in the Beth Phoenix, right? I think Beth was an entrance in the men's. I can't remember, but China was the first. I think there was a second, and I'm drawing a blank. So please, guys, let me know. Help me out here. Help me out. Who was the other female that was in the men's Royal Rumble match? Andrew, I don't want to see Rhea versus Charlotte happening either. No, we've gotten that enough times. We've gotten enough feud. No, not for that. Not for that. Hey, Nia Jax. There you go. Thank you, guys. Yes, it was Nia Jax. I knew it was recent. It was in the past couple of years. Brett, dark horse pick for Women's Rumble is Sonya Deville. If it's Sonya, they've got to be fully committed because they've been treating her. I don't want to say poorly. But her recent run of results, she's on screen, she's off screen, she loses the matches, and they're not building her up to be that winner. But hey, a Rumble win could do wonders for her, right? Let's not forget, during the pandemic, her and Mandy Rose, that, them, what they had going on, and unfortunately, Sonya had that stalker issue, and she kind of, left the company, so to speak, was off air. She absolutely could be a dark horse. Yeah, she could be a dark horse. Daniel, got to start having Judgment Day take some titles. We have to. Either like the latest WrestleMania. Andrew, y'all predict? Yeah, we did. Chugging contest. I think we all picked LA Knight for that one, or most of us picked LA Knight. And those of us that did pick LA Knight said probably Uncle Howdy costs Bray Wyatt that match. Let us know, Andrew. Who do you think? Who do you think wins that one? Ram, hello, man. How's it going? Fan from India. Welcome from India. Good. I think it's a good morning for you, right? Good morning from India. Hello, Ram. Thank you for joining us. And so regarding Nia Jax, she took the RKO from Orton. Yes, and he did pick LA Knight. He doesn't see LA winning, and he picked Bray. There you go. So we got a mixture in terms of that match. Kevin and Sami win the Raw titles, and eventually lose them to Judgment Day. My guess is Kevin and Sami win the tag belts at Elimination Chamber. That would be big, considering it is in Montreal. Sami's from Montreal. Kevin Owens is just north of Montreal, from Mirabel, Quebec. I think that's just north of Montreal. So yeah, hometown heroes, right? Hometown boys winning the tag titles. If you want a big pop, that would be it. And Andrew agrees with us. LA Knight because of Uncle Howdy, because then we're getting Howdy versus Fiend at WrestleMania. Yeah, Bo Dallas, right? The two brothers, Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt. All right, so final answers, everybody. Let us know. Let me know in the chat who wins the women's Royal Rumble match. I said Rhea Ripley. Let me know though. Let me know. I got Rhea Ripley for this one. Daniel says, there you go. Daniel says Rhea. Yeah, I think it has to be Rhea Ripley. I don't see Liv Morgan kind of going the distance there. I think it has to be Rhea. And Gills fan says Rhea Ripley as well. All right. So that leads us to the last match. And I mentioned earlier, by the way, before we get to the last match, I said special announcement for the WrestleView post Royal Rumble show. Right, we are going to do a post show after the Royal Rumble. Got a special announcement, let's say, for that one. But next up, the last match, the match that I think will close the Royal Rumble. Although not everybody tends to agree, I think it will be this one, the men's Royal Rumble match. I think this one closes the show. A couple of you thought no. A couple of you think it's going to be the Universal title match. And I can see how that would be it, definitely. I think, and a part of me hopes it's the men's Rumble, just because if it's Roman versus Kevin, something massive would have to happen to close the show. And I don't think we're going to get that big ending to that match. I don't think so. Not with the Rumble just there. So, all right. Hey, Mike, there you are. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well, buddy. There you go. So, guys, Mike Tedesco, greatest Raw recapper of all time, not just in the history of WrestleView.com, but history of anything. And he's presently at the hospital waiting for baby Tedesco, number 2. So hope all is well, Mike. Fingers crossed, buddy, that it's a safe delivery and it's all goes well. All goes well. All right. So we are at the last match, and talking about Mike, actually, Mike said that he thinks it's the Universal title match that closes the show. I think it's the men's Rumble that closes the show. Either way, one of those two, we're going to get a big ending. I think we're going to get a big ending. And yes, definitely sending all the best and much love, Mike. Great wishes. Best wishes, to you and the entire family, Victoria and the baby as well. Men's Royal Rumble match. We do have a couple of more names announced for this one. For the women's, we only had 7 names. 7 out of 23 announced for the women. For the men's, it's a little bit more. We have 16 out of 30, so just over 50%, just over half of the names announced. And here are the names. All right, so here are the names announced for the men's Royal Rumble match. Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross, and Dominic Mysterio. So some big names there. Some big names. Let's already. So we already got some answers here. So Daniel says the winner is Cody Rhodes. Final 4 is Rhodes, Sammy, Solo, and Drew. Surprise entrance is Zack Ryder. Surprise debut is Jay White. Daniel's had this set up like all day. Daniel has to have had this set up all day. I agree with a lot of these. I actually agree with a lot of these. Number 30, No Chance in Hell, Vince main events, WrestleMania. I think, Gills fan, if that happens, we actually do get a riot. We do get a riot. I don't know if you guys missed it. Go back in the archives on YouTube from this past Monday. And if you guys were there and you watched the show, then you know what I'm going to talk about. When I was talking with Mike about this, we were on the Raw Post show. We were discussing it. And when DX was out and Triple H was talking about the booking, he said, well, if only there was someone that could make this match official and book this match. Everyone thought about Vince McMahon, and you could tell the air in the arena, the atmosphere in the arena just died, and people were expecting Vince. It ended up being Teddy Long, but just the thought of Vince McMahon coming back, destroys any morale, including the fans' morale as well. Gills fan picking Cody Rhodes, Daniel, Jim Cornette. All right, that's okay. Andrew, oh, this is a good one, Andrew. Surprise is Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. All right. The biggest Latin artist in the world. That's a very good shout. I did not even think of Bad Bunny potentially being a surprise entrant. That's a good one, Andrew. That's a good one. Vince is back. Brett, possibility. Sammy helps Roman win his match. Then the Bloodline turns on Sammy during the Rumble and hands the Rumble win to Cody through outside interference, similar to Hogan helping Flair win. Possibly. I don't know if they're going to take that away from Cody. I don't know if they would take that moment away from Cody, if that makes sense in a way, even though he would end up winning the Rumble in this scenario. I don't know. I could see the Bloodline potentially costing Sami Zayn the Rumble match. I absolutely see that happening. I just don't know how obvious it's going to be and how it's going to play out. That I don't know. Hey, Jamel. Hello, Jamel. I was expecting Vince too. Genuinely surprised he did not come back, right? On Raw. I think we all were kind of expecting Vince there. Gills fan, I never thought Vince. I knew it was a setup for a tag team match. Playa. I mean, I was half hoping he would mention you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker, as that meme goes. Andrew, Cody, and Seth, co-winners, a la Bret Hart and Lex Luger all those years ago. I think we get something like this. Again, I'm inclined to agree with Andrew. I think final two is Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. I don't see outside of Cody Rhodes, and obviously Sami Zayn, but if it's not Sami, if it's not Cody, I don't know who could win this. I don't think Brock wins it. Maybe Brock comes back, but maybe Brock costs Lashley the Rumble match. He somehow gets him eliminated. Maybe Brock shows up in the Rumble match, is a participant, doesn't win it. From the active roster, outside of Cody, who's just coming back, I think it has to be Seth. I think it has to be Seth Rollins. And that's why I think the final two will be Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I think. Daniel, only reason I'm picking Jay is because his New Japan Pro Wrestling contract is up, and I'm thinking of when AJ Styles debuted. Now, the question there is, are enough people going to know who that is? That's the big question in terms of a debut, right? You want people to know who it is. I think Edge comes back. We haven't mentioned Edge. Maybe Edge comes back. I know Xavier Woods is in Australia. I think with Big E as well. Although Big E, it's a slightly more complicated situation than Xavier Woods. He's been out for several months now. Has Big E. Jamel, Seth and Cody will be 1 and 2, and both go the distance with Cody winning. Seth has the cardio for it. I don't know if Cody coming back from injury has the cardio for it, because he's just coming back from injury. Although that would be nice to see as well. That would be nice to see. Brett, surprise entrant is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, I would pop. I would love that. I won't lie. I would love that. I don't think it would happen, but I'd like it. So for surprises, I see. Okay, so Zack Ryder, Jay White, and the Great Muta. Oh, maybe it's part of their deal when they sent Shinsuke Nakamura over to Japan. Maybe. Speaking of which, I think Nakamura comes back. I got Nakamura in the Rumble. I got Nakamura. It would be crazy for Kevin Nash to show up, says King of Hueco Mundo. It would be nice, especially with everything that he's going through. He's going through some difficult times right now. It would be nice to see Nash back. Would absolutely be nice. Daniel, I have a Sammy in the Final Four, and the Usos start messing around and accidentally eliminating Sammy. Yeah, we could get that. We somehow. I think Final Four, Zayn is in the Final Four. I just don't see him in the Final Two. That's the thing. I don't see him in the Final Two. Jamel, unless The Rock comes back as a surprise, only logical winners I see are Cody and Sammy, with Seth as third. Okay. I have just a little bit of the opposite. I have Seth second and Zayn third. What are the odds on Randy Orton coming back? I know they kind of keep delaying his eventual return if he does come back. Do we get Randy Orton coming back? Possibly, or no? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, Gills fan, perhaps the Hurt Business eliminates Brock, right? If you got Omos, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, do we get the Street Profits in the Rumble match as well? Right? Maybe they come back, but maybe they show up. Andrew says Matt Riddle. There you go, Matt Riddle. Muda would be cool. Brett says Brock Lesnar enters the Rumble and is eliminated by Bobby Lashley. Now that sets up, the big WrestleMania match, which I think is kind of obvious at this point. Jamal Biggie in wrestling still, yeah, it's unfortunate. WWE is owed one from New Japan Pro Wrestling and AAA, so we could see one guy from each in the Rumble. I think we got something like that in the '97 Royal Rumble. 97, although it was mostly with Mexican stars, right? A lot of Lucha Libre stars, I think. As opposed to Japan, but certainly a possibility for Japan. Brian was saying Muda could be in the Rumble. That's a good one. That's a big. That would be big. No lie, that would be big. Jamel, Big Kev lost his best friend, damn near a brother, and Scott Hall and his son. That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough for him. Yeah. Gills fan, nothing on Orton, right? Randy Orton, no news at all whatsoever. Gills, that could mean either Randy is a surprise or he may be done. Yeah, I think that's usually how it goes. When we don't get any news for a while, it's either we're getting a big return, and there's no bigger return WrestleMania aside than the Royal Rumble, or it means they're probably done. Hopefully not probably done. Hopefully it's the other one, right? Daniel, WWE should milk Cody's return by having him number 30. It's a big one. I don't know at what number Cody comes back. I say in the 20s. So someone mentioned earlier, like number 1 or 2, could be. I think we get him more in the 20s. I think cardio wise, he needs some time to come back. And it was 97. There you go. Brett, way outside Flair, Steamboat. No, I don't think we get Flair. Not after his last match. Not after his health issues. There's no way. I think it would be completely irresponsible to have Ric Flair on there. To be completely honest with you, I think it's very irresponsible. There you go. Just hope not. Mil Máscaras. Yes, Mil Máscaras. 97. That's when Mil Máscaras was in, and he eliminated himself by diving out of the ring to avoid someone eliminating him. Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys. I knew it. My memory's not too bad, and I knew I could always rely on you guys. Daniel, cardio is why I got Cody as 30. Makes sense, buddy. Yeah. Jamel, Cody will want some resistance and a harder path. If he ain't 1 or 2, I think he comes out between 15 and 25. I got Cody around 23, 21 to 23, around that. Man, it's tough being in shape. Like, there's a difference between being in shape and being in wrestling shape, right? And I know in the Rumble you could do a lot of resting. Right, a bunch of other people, an entrant every, I don't know, what is it this year? Every minute and a half, every 90 seconds or 2 minutes. So the spotlight's on them for a couple of seconds. They come in, they do their thing, so you get to rest. But for him to go the distance, if he wins it, he's going to be in there for a while. And I don't know if he's ready just yet physically to be in there for that long. With that said, everybody, give you guys a couple of seconds. Let me know who you think wins the men's Royal Rumble match, and I'll bring up my prediction in there as well. Brett says Undertaker in the Rumble. If it is the Undertaker, it's going to be American Badass. I think he's retired the Dead Man gimmick. I think that's one of the reasons why we did not get the Dead Man gimmick on Raw on Raw's 30th anniversary or that show. If we do, it's American Badass. I don't think so. I don't think so. And Brett, a lot of surprises. Yeah, a lot of surprises. Jamel, if it's not Cody and Seth, 1 or 2. Seth, maybe Dolph starting it out. Dolph has the cardio. Yeah, Ziggler does. It's supposed to be 90 seconds, but they're flexible with that. And here we go. Daniel, former AEW EVP Cody Rhodes. Jamel says Cody, and Gills fan says Cody. And my prediction is this man right here. Your 2023 Men's Royal Rumble winner is... It's got to be Cody Rhodes. It's got to be Cody Rhodes, guys. It's got to be this. Brett says Cody wins the Rumble. Yeah, in the middle of all of that, in the middle of the bloodline imploding. I don't know if the full implosion happens at the Rumble or it just starts to crumble at the Rumble, right? Because there's still the Elimination Chamber there. But I could see the implosion happening. Yeah. Oh yeah, I could absolutely see that. Daniel, the neck tattoo guy. Andrew, surprise John Cena. There you go. Yeah. Wait, did this not? Wait, when I showed this, what did you guys see? Yeah, you guys saw Cody, right? You guys saw Cody. There you go. I thought I showed the wrong picture. Is it the Rhea pick? Jesus, I have the Cody Rhodes pick showing up for me. Wait a minute. Let's redo this here, because now you guys are messing with me. I think because I put up the Cody Rhodes picture, but you guys are telling me no. So let's see here. Wait. This is the picture I put up. Technical difficulties, everybody. Now hold up there, playa. Exactly, Jamal. Hold up there, guys. Where is this? Here we go. There you go. Your men's. I gotta edit this, but we're live, so who cares? Your men's 2023 Royal Rumble winner got to be Cody Rhodes. Got to be Cody Rhodes. Has to be right. Rhea wins both. Are you guys messing? Okay, second time I got it right. Thank you, Gil's fan. It must have been a glitch or something because I had Cody's picture up for me. But the neck tattoo guy, that's it. I think it's got to be Cody Rhodes. Daniel says, "Give Rhea all the belts, man. Give the Judgment Day the belts, right?" So that's what I think it is. I did not see anybody in the chat say any name other than Cody Rhodes. Which makes me think, is it the fact that it's too obvious that it's Cody where it's not Cody? Or are they going all out? Cody comes back, the ultimate comeback, wins the Rumble, slays the dragon that is Roman Reigns. Because, I've heard a lot of people talk about this where they say if Cody comes back, wins the Rumble, but doesn't win the title, it's going to be worse than the whole Lex Luger celebration where Luger didn't win the Rumble, where Luger didn't win the title. And I agree. I think this would be even worse. I think it's time Roman drops the belt at the Rumble if it's not, at WrestleMania if it's not the Rumble. And there's no other person other than Cody Rhodes. Hasn't held the belt in WWE, would be fresh new feuds we haven't had before. He could feud a little bit with Roman, feud a little bit with Seth, but if rumors are to be believed and Roman will not be there full time as well, you need someone to really go at it. Cody's your guy. Cody is your guy. Gil's fan, I've agreed with all your picks, Roy. I don't know if that's good for you or not. We'll see. We'll find out. We will find out come Rumble, right? Jamal, it could be crazy and fun. Rhea wins both Rumbles, gifters, some men's Rumbles. That sets up. No, that's. I mean, it would be fun, but that's way out there, Jamal. That's way out there. Daniel, if it's Brock, I love Brock Lesnar. I really do. I just hope it's not Brock Lesnar. What if Dom wins the Rumble? Bloodline eliminates Sami and Cody. I mean, Dom gets some love, right? Dom gets some love. Dom gets the WrestleMania main event, but ends up in prison again and misses the show. Yeah. They even did a taping of Superstars with Luger with the belt. They did, yeah. Daniel, I'm predicting that Roman loses to Cody night 1 and somehow Sami wins the second belt on Mania night 2. Everyone gets what they want. And that's been kind of my prediction regarding WrestleMania, my very early prediction. I think Roman defends the titles on both nights and loses them both nights. Cody has to be one of them. Is Sami Zayn the other? I don't know. There's still the Elimination Chamber. What happens there? Who knows? Who knows what happens on that one? Jamel, Cody will win the belts, and after Mania they split the belts. Again, certainly, yeah. An idea. That's an idea. Keep the belts unified until WrestleMania, and then you just kind of split them, and you have the champ maybe defend both belts separately. Andrew, they need to split the belts. They definitely need to split the belts at this point. Originally, it was a good idea maybe to unify them, but at this point, split them back and either have a different champ or a champ that's just going to defend them on regularly, so to speak. Daniel, Sami gets into night 2 by winning the Chamber. That's what I'm thinking as well, especially considering that the Chamber is in Montreal. Sami and Cody in triple threat. Roman expects Sami to make sure to help the Bloodline and ends up securing Cody's win. I hope we don't get a triple threat at WrestleMania. I'm not a fan of triple threats, let alone at WrestleMania for the title. So I hope not. I hope not, Brett. Not in that case. Jamel, Sami gets a shot at Elimination Chamber in his hometown, Montreal. Yeah, maybe. But he loses. I don't think, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, I don't think Sami Zayn ends up with any of the titles. I know it's what a lot of people want. I don't see it happening. I don't think WWE or creative. I'm not saying I don't think WWE or creative see Sami Zayn as the face of the company, as the champion. Right? I'm not saying I don't see him that way. I just think WWE or creative don't see him that way. That I don't believe. But maybe I'm wrong. Gimmicks equate to lazy booking. Yes, they do, Daniel. Jamel, have a nice one, boys. All right, buddy. Take care. Thank you for stopping by, Jamel. Thank you for stopping by. Andrew, Sami leaves Montreal in an ambulance. Possibility. Brett, if Roman defends twice, he keeps Universal after Mania to extend his title reign. I hope we get a new champion come WrestleMania. I truly do. I truly hope we get a new one, a new champ. But who knows? We'll see. All right. So those were our WrestleMania. Jesus. Those were our Royal Rumble predictions. Not too many matches. We have the Raw Women's title match, the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, Undisputed Universal title match, and the 2 Royal Rumble matches. So a small card, although expected for the Rumble. So 5 matches. And oh boy, is this... Daniel's thinking really out there. And by out there, I mean like ahead. But Cody versus MJF at WrestleMania 40. There you go. Who knows? All right. So I promised everybody kind of a special announcement regarding the post-show, the Royal Rumble post-show on Saturday. And it is this. So the WrestleView.com's Royal Rumble post-show is live on Saturday after the pay-per-view, after the premium live event, after the Rumble match. We are going to be live, Live, right here on YouTube. And the special surprise is more of a hint, but we're talking about returning legends and returning Royal Rumble participants. Well, we might have a WrestleView legend that's returning for the post-show. Who is it? There are a lot of them. I cannot give you a hint. This person, he or she, will be making a special guest appearance at the WrestleView.com Royal Rumble post show. That's all I got for you. I can't give you guys too much. You guys got to tune in. There's a lot of WrestleView legends. So you guys got to tune in to see who it is. He or she. It's a he or she, Andrew. It's a he or she. So we'll see. But on that note, as I mentioned, so Royal Rumble is this Saturday. We are going to have a live recap, live results on WrestleView.com, which will be followed by the WrestleView Royal Rumble post-show. As I mentioned, a returning legend. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. If you've joined me live, thank you. Appreciate the chat. Love it so much. If you are watching me or watching us live on YouTube, playback on YouTube, let me know in the comments your predictions. And do you agree with me? Do you agree with us? Let me know. And who do you think is returning to the WrestleView post Royal Rumble show on Saturday? All right. Once more, everybody, my name is Roy Nemmer of WrestleView.com. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, and Saturday, Royal Rumble, WrestleView.com, post show. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.